Watched Scream 4 tonight. It was actually a pretty good movie. A lot of little plot twists. You really can't predict the movie, how it's going to end. Starting out, trying to think how to say it without spoiling any of it. It's basically, you know, if you follow the Scream franchise, killer's got the mask, kills people with knives. They're trying to stop him throughout the whole movie. You see some past characters come back and play roles. Like right off the bat, there was somebody dressed up in the Scream mask, and you find out pretty quickly that he's not the main villain in the movie. He actually reveals his face and then gets killed like 5 minutes later. I guess I could spoil some of it, but right off the bat, there was two guys that were actually going to go around killing people to portray the movie and film their own movie through it, but they get killed off right away. So you're like, all right, so where's this movie going to go from there? And then other people, there's just different other scenarios within it. It's really hard to predict, I guess is what to say without giving you spoilers. Basically, in the end, I'll give you the spoiler, I don't care. The one killer from the previous movie, Richie, his dad is the cop that you see interacting throughout the movie, and he's getting revenge on the two girls for killing his son. And then his daughter's actually the redhead in the movie that you see early on. And then the one other character with like the shaggy hair, I can't remember his name offhand, but they're brother and sister, and dad's the cop, so they're seeking revenge on the two girls throughout the movie. You really don't know that till the very end, the last like 2 to 3 minutes of it. So if you're trying to predict what's going to happen, good luck, because there's no way you're going to without watching the full entire movie. Again, there's little other twists in it. You really don't even learn there's two killers, or in this case 3, until that last 3 minutes when they're on the subway. You wonder how they get to this theater so quick, and then you realize there has to be 2. A lot of people do die. I would say there's about a dozen people in the movie that die, that throw off the scent, that you might start to think it's, hey, it's this person or that person, but they die, so it throws off the scent. You know, the cop gets involved, and then one of the past characters is an FBI agent, comes in. She's trying to help, but you might think she's the character. I guess in the end, I don't know, it's just such a hard movie to describe without spoiling a lot of it, even though I already have. I just like it because they use knives for the killing for the most part. I mean, there was some little shooting, but it was more of like a thriller slasher movie. You know, even the stabbings looked pretty good. The one thing I will say is, I noticed, you know, early on, is they were always smashing people that were wearing the Scream mask in the head. And I was like, well, after a while, you should be able to see some marks or something like that, or how do they sustain so many blows? But I just couldn't figure it out. But it makes sense in the end that there was like more than one going around killing. It was cool that they used the same voice, played a little bit homage to the previous movies. And the one character, they were just building it as sort of like a movie playing out the whole time. You know, giving you, hey, this is what should happen in a movie, but it's really not happening. And the character was trying to say, this is the next move, it's going to happen, but that didn't happen. But kind of interesting. There was some little things that I was like, how did the killer get into some of the houses if they were locked? It really didn't show that, because there's no like forced entry, and all the doors that they always had bolts and stuff like that. That was the one plot hole I didn't get. No matter what character it was, there was always somebody getting into the house pretty easily without showing any break of entry. Now that I think about it and say it out loud, it really didn't make sense. But again, I guess they didn't show all the house. There could have been another point of entry, but on a high-rise skyscraper, there should have been some like broken glass or, you know, one way in or out, and there wasn't. Even though the cop played a factor, you know, he's still not going to have keys to all these houses and break in without leaving some sort of trace where the people that do get killed won't be able to see it. I definitely would go see it in the theater. It's definitely a good night out. I don't know if you'd really jump unless you're really jumpy at sort of scary movies. It's not a scary movie in the sense that you're going to jump out of your seat, scream, and get freaked out or be gory to death. It's more of, if anything, you might flinch a little bit as they stab somebody and show like the blood and guts. But it's just not going to like have somebody come around a corner and jump out at you type deal. So that's kind of nice because it was more of like a, again, a killer thrasher movie than a scary movie. Not much graphics wise, but the one cool thing is in this theater, the end scene, and they actually reveal it in the middle of the movie. Again, the word homage to the other characters and Scream characters, the masks, whatever, they had them set up like on display. It was, they turned this like old theater into a museum, and they got all this evidence from the past movies, like the knives, different things that people got killed with in this theater. So again, it was paying like homage a little bit to the other three movies. But all around, I would say it was a good movie. Trying not to spoil it too much, but it might not have been necessarily need to be a 2-hour long movie. It could have been probably an hour and a half. Might have felt a little rushed in an hour and a half, but 2 hours is pretty good. I know my ass was starting to get sore sitting in the seats. But it did keep your attention, and you do have to pay attention to the whole movie, or else you might miss something that they wrap up in the end. So don't leave your seat. Get your popcorn, your drinks, do your bathroom break beforehand, so you don't miss any little plot point that might play in the later that you might be confused about. So other than that, I really did like it again because you couldn't predict it, and it was definitely a well thought out movie with different plot points and twists. So you should be happy if you go see it if you like those type of movies. Definitely worth your money. And I guess that's about it without spoiling anymore.